I believe that you're familiar with the idea of negative visualization. The concept of actually visualizing and thoroughly imagining the day of your own death, the day of your parents' death, the day everybody you love dies, the day you lose your job, the day you get an F in a math exam, whatever. Just visualizing the worst things that could ever happen to you. But what most people just don't have the balls to actually visualize is losing everything that they like. Losing even the smallest pleasures. Because, of course, everybody, when they hear, oh, I need to visualize something really negative, losing something, of course, you're going to imagine losing your mother, losing your father, losing your own life. But you're never going to imagine the small little pleasures of every single day life that you could lose as each day passes. Because those are way more real than the faint chance of you as a young person, or maybe even as someone in your 50s that who still has their parents alive, losing your parents the very next day. Losing those small little day-to-day pleasures is way more probable. Losing that acquaintance, that friend, just stopping saying hello and losing the contact because you were just too lazy to write a message. Losing a relationship because even if you didn't notice, your day-to-day actions were leading up to something bigger. We are never going to be visualizing the little things in our lives that make us happy. We always visualize losing the biggest things, the most important things, and of course, we know how that feels. It's going to hurt like an arrow through the heart. It's going to hurt like a stone to the pelvis. But yeah, we know that. We need to familiarize ourselves with smaller things. We need to familiarize ourselves with losing a lot of very tiny pleasurable things in our day-to-day life, because those, maybe they're already gone and you haven't noticed. Maybe, I don't know, your mother made you a sandwich, but tomorrow she decides that she's not going to make you sandwiches anymore and instead is going to fry you some eggs for breakfast instead of giving you the sandwich. You've lost that sandwich. You've lost that small little pleasure of day-to-day life. Of course, everybody knows losing your actual mother is 10 times, 100, a billion times worse than losing the action of eating her delicious sandwiches, but still, you're losing that and you don't even imagine it. It sounds silly, me saying it, I sound silly. Oh, losing your mother's is homemade sandwiches. Oh, okay. Who cares? Well, if you combine that as well with your father's is, I don't know, nickname for you. If just my name is Elias. If my father were to call me Eli and just stops calling me that and calls me Elias, I've lost that, and maybe I can't get it back. Of course, I can ask him to call me Eli again, but whatever. I've lost that small little pleasure, and in combination with the other small pleasure that I lost with from my mother, and that small little pleasure that I get from school, and that small little pleasure I get from social media, and that small little pleasure that I get from reading, it always will lead into something way bigger, into something way more catastrophic. So be careful, because the big things in your life are not the only things that are important. The small details, the small day-to-day activities that sound boring, and I could tell you tomorrow that you've lost all of them and you probably wouldn't care that much, do affect you. Do affect you. You need to keep that in mind. Maybe they're insignificant, but maybe they're not that's as significant in like the spiritual manner as other things, but they are way more fragile. I'll see you later.